The earliest Egyptian obelisks around 2500 BC were just 3 meters tall. The oldest that survives is this one from about 1900 BC, and it is 21 meters high and weighs 120 tons. The same height as the grand broken menhir of Locmariaquer in France, erected about 2,800 years earlier, at 4,700 BC, and which weighs more than double at about 300 tons. It fell down and broke around 4000 BC due to an earthquake. It has been described by experts as possibly the greatest undertaking of human engineering in European prehistory. And it was part of a line of megaliths. All the rest are missing now, and they're represented by just these piles of stones. This menhir was likely famous for a long distance far from Brittany, and may in fact have been one of the catalysts that led to the spread of the megalith culture, and certainly involved the labour of a huge number of people, revealing that there were very complex social organisations and a hierarchy which could call upon the labour of hundreds and hundreds of people. Maybe the majority of the strong men in all of Brittany were involved in the erection of this menhir. But despite that, it was only upright for a few centuries before it fell. And the most likely explanation for why it fell is that there was an earthquake, because seismic activity in this region has been recorded at that time. It seems that after the fall of this menhir, the erection of giant menhirs ceased. So perhaps that cataclysmic event really shook the people who were involved in the religion of these giant menhirs, and they didn't want to do that anymore. They thought that this was a bad omen, perhaps. And it's also interesting that several of the tombs, the giant barrows of the Brittany region that were built in the mid-5th millennium BC, have reused these giant menhirs, which often have, including this one, have carved symbols on the side of them. This one has an image of what's called the axe plough, but is sometimes interpreted as being a sperm whale. But other times there's goats and cows and other things, and they are reused for the local tombs, including the tomb right behind the menhir,